Confidence is an illusion. Let that sink in. The way you walk, the way you speak, the way you hold eye contact, most of it isn't yours. It was installed in you, approved by others, conditioned over time. You were taught when to speak, when to stay quiet, when to shrink, when to act acceptable. And now you call that confidence? It's not. It's permission. You don't hesitate because you're weak. You hesitate because you were trained to. Trained to fear rejection. Trained to avoid risk. Trained to stay small so others stay comfortable. Every time you overthink, every time you doubt yourself, every time you hold back your words or delay your actions, that isn't your true nature. That's programming. And here's the truth. Most people won't accept. Real confidence isn't loud. It isn't flashy. It doesn't beg for attention. Real confidence is silent control. It's the ability to act without internal resistance, to move without asking for approval, to decide without explaining yourself. That's power, because in a world controlled by fear, opinions, and invisible rules, the person who controls himself becomes untouchable. Think about it. The moment you stop needing validation, you become dangerous. The moment you stop explaining your decisions, you become unpredictable. The moment you stop hesitating, you become unstoppable. And that's exactly what this will do to you. These 7 ruthless lessons are not motivation. Motivation is temporary. It fades when things get hard. This is different. This rewires how you think, how you react under pressure, how you move when others freeze. You will see fear differently. You will use silence differently. You will make decisions with a level of control most people never reach. But understand this. This is not for everyone. Once you see the truth, you can't go back to being average. You can't go back to overthinking every move. You can't go back to living under someone else's expectations. You either evolve or you stay where you are. So the question is simple. Are you ready to remove hesitation and replace it with controlled power? Before we move forward, comment, I control myself. Number 1, build an internal authority system. Most people don't make decisions, they outsource them. They scan reactions, measure opinions, and adjust behavior to feel safe. They follow trends, obey unspoken rules, and align with what gets accepted, not because it's right, but because it avoids conflict. That's why they hesitate. When your direction comes from outside, every step needs confirmation. Every move feels uncertain. Understand this. If you need approval to act, you're not in control. You're being managed. The more you depend on external signals, the weaker your decisions become. You second-guess simple choices. You delay actions that should be immediate. You wait for the right time that never comes, because external authority is unstable. What's accepted today is rejected tomorrow. Powerful people operate differently. They don't look outward for direction. They create it internally. They build standards, rules, and principles that don't change based on opinion. That is internal authority. And once it's built, hesitation disappears. Decisions stop being emotional. They become automatic. You stop asking, what will they think? You start asking, does this align with my standard? That's the shift. Number 2, normalize pressure. Most people don't fail from lack of skill. They fail because they collapse under pressure. Their breathing changes. Their thoughts scatter. Their actions slow. Their mind shifts from execution to survival. Pressure doesn't create weakness. It exposes it. That's why weak minds avoid pressure. They choose comfort, predictability, low risk, and that makes them fragile, because when pressure finally shows up, and it always does, they default to fear. Solution: don't eliminate pressure. Normalize it. Put yourself in situations with intensity, risk, uncertainty, repeatedly. At first it feels uncomfortable. That's your conditioning resisting. But stay in it, adapt, and soon what overwhelmed you becomes your advantage. Number 3, control perception, not expression. Most people are obsessed with expressing themselves. They want to show everything they feel, think, are. But uncontrolled expression is exposure, and exposure creates predictability, and predictability creates weakness. Power isn't what you feel. Power is what people can perceive. Your behavior, your tone, your timing must be controlled. Ask yourself in every situation, what should be visible right now? That question changes everything. Use silence. Most people talk to fill space. They explain, justify, prove. But the more you talk, the more you reveal. The more you reveal, the easier you are to read. Controlled people don't rush to fill silence, they let it work. Silence creates tension. It creates curiosity. It forces others to project assumptions, and those assumptions often work in your favor. Number 4, turn fear into data. Most people run from fear, but fear isn't the problem, it's a signal. It shows where you lack clarity, preparation, control. So instead of escaping it, analyze it. What exactly am I afraid of? What's the worst case scenario? What can I control? The moment you define fear, its intensity drops. Clarity replaces imagination, and clarity creates power. Number 5, weaponize absence. Most people think constant presence creates value. It doesn't, it destroys it. What is always available is rarely valued. Familiarity reduces attention. Predictability kills curiosity. Scarcity creates value. Stop being everywhere. Stop responding instantly. Stop making yourself easy to access. Be selective. When your presence becomes limited, people notice, they pay attention, they value it more. Access is power. The less available you are, the more valuable you become. Number 6, map patterns. Every person operates on patterns under stress, pressure, conflict. If you can see those patterns, people stop being unpredictable. They become readable systems, and start with yourself. When do you become reactive? When do you lose clarity? When does your discipline break? That awareness gives you control, and externally you start reading others just as clearly. Number 7, replace hesitation with controlled aggression. Hesitation isn't thinking, it's delay disguised as thinking. It creates a gap between intention and action, and in that gap, doubt grows. Controlled aggression eliminates that delay. It's not emotional, it's not reckless, it's precise action with awareness. Clarity reaches a threshold. You move, you don't wait for perfect certainty, you act with sufficient understanding. That's the difference between average and powerful. Now everything is clear. This isn't motivation, it's structure. And now you have a choice. Stay in old patterns or break them. Confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you practice until it becomes automatic. Apply this in conversations, in decisions, in pressure, in silence, when no one is watching. And remember this final truth. The world doesn't respond to intention. It responds to action. Comment: I choose action. Now the real game begins. Because understanding concepts is easy, but execution is where most people collapse. They listen, agree, nod their heads, then fall back into the same patterns. Because knowledge without execution is useless. So now we move to the next level. Number 8, master response delay. Stop reacting instantly. Instant reaction is weakness. The moment you respond immediately, you hand over control. Build a pause. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. That small gap pulls you out of emotion and into strategy. That gap is power. Number 9, emotional neutrality. Not everything deserves your emotion. Not everything is personal. Not every comment is an attack. When you stay neutral, you become untriggerable, and the person who cannot be triggered cannot be controlled. Number 10. Minimal words, maximum impact. Talking more is not power, it's leakage. Powerful people speak less, but speak clearly, directly. Their words carry weight because they are intentional. When you stop over-explaining, people start taking you seriously. Number 11. Decision speed. Slow decisions create doubt. Fast decisions build clarity. You don't need perfect answers, you need workable ones. Decide, move, adjust if needed, but don't freeze. Momentum beats perfection. Number 12. Control the body, control the mind, your posture, breathing, eye contact. They shape your internal state. Stand straight. Breathe slow. Hold steady eye contact. When your body is stable, your mind follows. Number 13. Controlled silence. You don't need to speak in every moment. Silence is often the most powerful response. When you stay silent, others become uncomfortable. They start talking, over-explaining, revealing, and you observe. That's advantage. Number 14. Release the need to be liked. Your goal is not to be liked. Your goal is to be in control. When you try to please everyone, you lose authority. Some people won't like you. That's normal. Accept it and move. Number 15. Internal validation system. If you rely on external approval, you will never be free. You must validate yourself. Your decisions must come from your standards, not from others' expectations. That's independence. Number 16. Stay calm under pressure. Intensity reveals everything. When situations escalate, most people panic, overreact, lose clarity. If you stay calm, you already have the advantage. You think clearly while others lose control. Number 17. Consistency over intensity. Anyone can act powerful for one day. Real power is consistency. Do it daily, small controlled actions, again and again. Eventually,